Because ultimately, if he wants to do what's best for his career, for the longevity of his career, it would be to take less money. He can sit there and say, I'm going to go out and score myself a $250 million contract. Well, it's not going to be fully guaranteed. And so he can go out and score himself that contract, and he could come away with $140 million, for probably fully guaranteed, or $120 million fully guaranteed. But then never be anything more than a backup quarterback going forward. Because in that time of being a top 5 paid quarterback, he's going to prove to everybody in the league that he's not that guy. So he might buy himself 2 or 3 years of big money and a starting position, but then once he proves to everybody that he's not worth that money and he's not a franchise guy, he'll be a bridge quarterback for teams making less than a Baker contract. He'll be making, $10 to $18 million a year as a bridge quarterback for a year or two. But if he took $35 to $40 million a year, or $30 to $40 million a year, he took that Baker deal and he allowed the Niners to keep loading up the roster around him, he could probably continue for the vast majority of his career to make $30 to $40 million a year. And, 8 years from now, he probably will end up in that $45 to $50 million a year, because the elites will be making $70 to $75 million a year. And he could end his career having made $500 million if he played it right. So if Brock was smart, he would look at these playoffs and be aware of the situation he's in, be aware of the coach that he has and the philosophy that this coach has for building a team, and realize, okay, well, I'm not going to be Goff and Hurts because I'm never going to have that O-line. Because my coach believes in people who catch touchdowns more than people who protect quarterbacks. And, I'm more like Jordan Love in the sense that Jordan Love probably, if things keep going the way they're going, now I'm one of the guys that believes in Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love's going to end up being pretty good. But man, the last 2 playoffs, he's kind of starting to prove me wrong. So if I was Purdy, I would look at it like I could have a longer, more successful and prosperous career if I take the Baker route. Even if he does it in short stints, even instead of a 5-year, $200 million year or a $200 million contract, he takes a 2-year, $80 million contract fully guaranteed. And then in 2 years does it again. And then 2 years does it again. And then I personally believe by doing it that way, the team is going to be able to keep enough talent around him to keep him relevant to where he's going to keep getting paid some way by someone. In that time, the 49ers might decide to go try to find their franchise guy. And by that time, they move on from Purdy. But at that price, just like Baker did, just like Kirk Cousins did, he'll find another gig. And he'll get paid that same amount of money. But if he goes for the gusto and he hamstrings a team with the top of the market money deal where they can't afford to load up the team around him, and he's forced to carry, he's going to fall. And he's not gonna make it. And his career as a prominent starter, as a franchise level quarterback, or being viewed as one anyways, is done in 2 or 3 years. Because once he's paid that way, he'll be judged that way. And once he's judged that way, he's going to show that he's not that guy. So In my opinion, what Brock should learn from this playoffs is, hey, man, maybe I should take a deal and load up the team I have around me, sort of like it was last year. And let's keep running it that way. Because he goes out there trying to get $50 to $65 million a year. It's over for him in 2 or 3 years. At least now, when I say over for him again, I don't mean he's done. He's never playing again. It's just over for him being even in the conversation of a top half of the league quarterback. It's over for him being debated whether he's elite or not. There will be no more debate. It'll be done. It'll be over. No. Not even the Brock Purdy super fans will be trying to have that debate anymore in a couple of years.